I'm hoping that in the room, you're going to took notes, receive the information, and you're going to leave here, you're going to go apply it, and go across this thing. And tonight, guys, we have some of the most incredible leaders, I think, in the industry. And normally, we have people that will just talk at you, will just, spit some stuff. But we want to do something just a little bit different because here's the deal. You guys flew here. We know you guys have questions, and we want to be able to open it up to some Q&A, and we want to be able to really just kind of open this up to you guys. So if you have specific questions, we'll kind of just bop it back and forth from all of us because we all can just give you guys hours and hours and hours of information. And but I think it's gonna be way more intentional if you guys have any questions. So if you guys have builder questions, go ahead and answer. We'll probably answer a couple builder questions, and maybe we have a couple educators that we want to include as well.
Shout out to
They already rich.
Yeah, give it up for Rich, for Joel. Trading question, but the whole goal for this entire mastermind, guys, is to give you guys the tools to leave here and go be successful. So, anything you guys want to talk about?
I'm ready. Any questions you guys might have?
Right there, first hand.
Hold on. I would love Dr. Shine and Garrett Bills. Guys, this is their market in Atlanta. These guys have done amazing things in this industry. I just want you guys to open up as well before we open up a few names.
Yeah, so let's open up.
One way to make an entrance.
When faith is at the foundation, your foundation is so solid. A lot of the bits and pieces that people believe that they need is not that it's outside of them, it's actually inside of you, but knowing how to pull it out. I know that we have different faith in them, I recognize that. But I want you to just really tap in deep so that you understand that there is a supernatural that you're missing on that natural that will allow you to do things that's not necessarily in your direct control. Some of you are better than people who have more, amazing results. You're more skilled, you're more educated, so then what is it? What happened? So something magnetic is happening and just knowing your time. So that's just nothing. So if you want me to do it,
Go ahead.
Father God, we just thank you right now for your presence. We thank you for the purpose of this moment. We thank you for your peace, oh God. We thank you, Lord God, that you destined this moment for such a time as this. We thank you for divine alignment, divine assignment. And we thank you, Lord God, that we are on a serious mission to impact nations and generations around the world. Give us the clarity that we need to adopt this moment in such a way that there is no imposter syndrome. Allow us to know that we're purposed to be here. We're supposed to be here. We're the ones that have been called. We're the ones that have been chosen to do something supernatural and mighty. I believe that we're in the month of Overflow October. I ask that you would allow overflow to reign in our lives, in our homes, in our businesses. I ask that you would allow overflow to reign in our bank accounts. I ask that you would allow it to even reign in our confidence, oh God, in our courage, that we may go to heights that we've never seen before. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of man what you have for those of us who love you. We love you, oh God. We thank you, we praise you, and we honor you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
How y'all guys feeling? So I want you guys to take in every single thing that all the leaders that's going to say up here tonight, guys, because one thing I'm big on and all the leaders on is I want you guys to understand that you should be up here, right? But you have to understand all the characteristics. You have to understand all the skill. Everything that we're going to be talking about tonight is literally to take you from the back of the room to the front. We all started in the back. We all started not talking. We all started not knowing if this would work or if we'll make money. But once we start realizing, okay, how good of a student am I? If someone tell me I gotta do A, B, C, D, and E, are you just doing E and then calling it a day? Right? We have to understand that we all got a profitable business. A free, pre-built business. Raise your hand if you want to be a business owner.
Let's go.
Hey.
Now, I want you to ask yourself, do you want to be a business owner because it's the new trend? Or are you going to wake up every single day and realize one sale makes me profitable? one sale make me profitable in $1 million business, in $1 billion industry. And a lot of people wake up like this is a trend, it's a cool, I'll get to it later, but you're not gonna make millions that way, right? So I'm excited to hear all the gems, guys. I hope you guys got y'all notes. I hope you guys are recording videos, audios, because that's the stuff you're gonna take home. You can't take your leaders home. And I get it. Some people you feel like, okay, I'm hopping on the Zooms, I'm doing all the calls, but you guys gotta understand, you have to replace your leaders. We need you as much as you need your leaders. And we not building followers, we building what? Leaders. Leaders, right? So we wanna be replaced. I'm new here. You know what I'm saying? So as looking at my uplines, I'm like, look, we want to replace y'all, make y'all work easier. That's what a family do, right? Everybody help each other. So we're going to help pull you up with all the knowledge we have, but we want to make sure that we giving all that knowledge to the right people. So who the right people tonight?
April of 2024, I was terminated from my previous company. I was making almost $100,000 a month, and I was terminated from that company, and I really had a hard time trusting another opportunity, trusting another owner, trusting another upline, a mentor, a friend, and it was a very dark place for me. As we go through this, building as network marketers or as entrepreneurs, you have ups and downs. I remember very vividly listening to a podcast from Brad Lee saying, if you're not getting screwed over, it means you're not trying hard enough. And I realized in that moment that this was my mission, my lesson, something I had to go through so that I could become the best version of myself. And, when I made the decision to call Matthew, actually Matty hit me up and he wanted to know some tea. And we were just talking for like an hour. And at the very end of the call, he goes, bro, why don't you just come over here? And it was something so subtle. And I was like, you know what? Let me just hear it out one more time. And I heard the information. I got back on a call with Josh Swagel, and I just saw the opportunity for what it was. Guys, when I came here, Koshex was doing $160K a month in sales. And at our peak, we were doing almost $6 million a month. And I want you guys to understand that that whole wave happened before 90% of this room even existed. So I want you guys to understand that you're at the precipice and at the cusp of something so incredible. You don't even know what you will be like in 12 months from now. But the one thing I can guarantee you, out of all the lessons that you take from this weekend, there's only one thing I can guarantee, that if you did every single day without fail, you could surpass this, and like Garrett said, replace the leadership up here. Just 1% a day. Just do 1% more every single day. And I guarantee you will become the best version of yourself. So having said that, guys, let's have an amazing mastermind, and let's open it up to some questions. Let's go!
So I had a question for Dr. China, but feel free for all of you guys to kind of touch on it. Now, I was exposed to the movement that you've created. I didn't really know a lot about your story prior to today, but I had a key question kind of for you, and it was, what is a big factor into your retention system that creates such a movement like this?
That's a good one. So retention is important. Culture is important. And one of the ways that we build culture is identifying our core values. Like, you got to just really lock in and make it bigger than just the numbers in the back office. Like, I build purpose. I align with vision. So, yes, I do business with people, but if Maddie's vision wasn't in alignment with what Garrett and I was looking for, Maddie just wouldn't have been in. And it's easy to make those decisions when you have core values. So, for us, our core values are rich. Respect is important. Disrespect is a non-negotiable. Like, boundaries are important for me. So integrity is important. And so when we checked out this company, we knew we wanted something long term. We wanted to be committed. We needed something that we enjoy talking about. We could do it in honor. We flew out to meet Josh, and we felt confident to bring this to our people. We wasn't testing it out. My community, we don't use the T word. The T word for us is trying. I understand it if I'm training. If you're trying, you're lying. Either you're doing it or you're not. So just eliminate that from your vocabulary, because in many cases, you don't even need to say that word. So when you begin to be clear on, you know, that you're confident in what you're doing now, people are more willing to follow. And that's the culture that we build up in our business. So yes, we love the product. The compensation plan is amazing. Like, I'm super excited about it. I feel like it gives people a real chance to win inside this compensation plan, but it requires work. But more important than those things is the culture that we're creating, because we get to now attract people who have the same core values. So more than the product and us helping people make a lot of money, we're helping them to tap into purpose where they can share their stories on stages around the world. And that's so many more people than the ones that feel like they can actually run this skill trade.
Who has a question?
I think this would be good, honestly, for all you guys to answer. But like, what would you say to somebody who maybe like just got into business, or like they sacrificed their money to come to this trip instead of getting started? What would you tell them? You know, like they don't know nothing about this business. What would you tell them to go and, you know, have the absolute best next 90 days or the rest of this year, so they can actually take this business to the next level? So they don't know what to do.
That's a good Joey
Come on, Billy!
I was just gonna say, is he in your home state?
Yeah.
Put him in your passenger
Or
seat.
anywhere.
Put him in your passenger seat. What do you got? I'm gonna show. Let's show your entire contact list as fast as possible, and let's go fail the way forward. The only way we got to make millions of dollars in this industry is by failing more than anybody else. I mean, if you looked at the journey and you actually saw what it took to get here, it was literally, I just fell on my face over and over. So what I would do is go take that dude, put him in my passenger seat. He's my brand new baby, right? You don't let your brand new baby out of your sight, do you? No, you put him in your passenger seat, and then you take him to Best Buy, you get him a clicker, get the presentation downloaded on their computer, and then who are we showing? Who's your white hot market? Who's the people that know you the best and trust you the most? Let's go show them right away, right? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it your brother? Let's go show them. I'm gonna do the presentation first, and you're gonna watch me. And you're gonna share why you're doing this thing. And then the second one, I'm gonna make you do the front half, and I'm gonna do the back half. The third one, you're doing the whole thing, and now you're gonna be presenting. And I wanna create duplication in my business, right? You wanna build markets. You build up a leader, and then you go to the next market, you build up a new leader, right? You give them as much time as you can, but they gotta have, you know, we talk about running partners, right? So for me, I'm looking for someone with credibility with their contacts. I'm looking for someone with desire. I'm looking for someone that's teachable and coachable, and someone that doesn't quit when they're hitting some, when people are telling them no, right? They have thick skin, and so if they have those 4 qualities, I'm all in. But if they're brand new, I'm giving them the shot. I'm putting them in my passenger seat, and we're running. That's it. It's that simple. Just showing the plan. I'll say this last thing. John Morenzi said it perfect for me. He said I got good at 2 things: telling my story, and playing show and tell. And I just do that every day, and show them how to move their feet. Let's go.
This question. It's like you only work with one person at a time, usually. You're first getting started.
Anyone, anytime, anywhere. If you're hungry,
Come on now.
all we did, if you want to get together and you want to go hit the war room, that's all these guys know. That's all they do. Come over to the war room and let's make calls every day. We get the group together and we run it up.
Phone work, baby.
Yeah.
You can just start with one. Like, so for instance, he signed me up, right, in 2015. I was in network marketing in 2012. I rejoined with him in 2015. He came up to Eau Claire after I signed up. I invited a couple people to my house. They signed up, and then my house just kind of became the hub. And then they just invited people to my house. And we just kept doing presentations day after day after day. Then we started traveling to different colleges, because those people led us to different colleges all over Wisconsin. And, you know, yes, I was his running partner, but he was also working with all of my other leaders as well. He was just tap rooting through me. And that's really the secret. But, you know, to answer your question, you know, if you were brand new, right, and you were leaving here, like, you can only control what you can control. So the biggest thing that happens for a lot of people when they leave this room is they get in their own way. And they get in their own way because in their minds, they're not used to controlling their own thoughts. They're used to just kind of like going through the day, letting the day happen to them. When I learned that I could control my thoughts, my whole entire life changed. Because we don't realize that throughout the day, we have so many negative thoughts. Oh man, I feel kind of fat, man. Oh man, I'm so broke. Oh man, I hate my job. Oh man, I'm just not that confident. Like, we have tons of limiting beliefs and negativity that is going through our brains, and when we don't realize that that's going on, that controls our life. So when people join this business and they don't know that their thoughts are there, the minute they get told no, that this is a pyramid, immediately they start having negative thoughts, and they can't control them. But if you go into this knowing, okay, well, as soon as a negative thought comes into my brain, I'm shutting it off. Like I used to sit in Joey's car, and you know, we were showing the plan, and I would say things like, "Man, I'm so freaking broke," and he'd be like, "Ah, get that away from me."
He's like, I'm never gonna find a leader. Leaders are going.
He would literally like think like there was a wall, and
I got
that
yachts and mansions and assets flowing in from all over the place.
but when you're first starting, you have to develop that type of mentality. And no matter how bad it gets, no matter what the situation is, you have to flip it into the positive. Almost like ridiculously, like polar opposite of negative. Like you have to be insanely positive. And that's the secret to like when you're first starting to really go have success in this thing. And then, you know, one person's going to turn into 5 people, that's going to turn into 20 people, that's going to turn into 50 people. And then you're just looking for those qualities to run with, and to build with, and to build up.
I want to say something real quick about that too. You also have to remember too, guys, like we have events like maybe every quarter, maybe, you know, every other quarter, right? It's so important to plug into the Zoom calls, right? Like so many people go home, they miss every leadership call, they never hop on Super Saturdays, they don't attend any of the live training sessions, like nothing, right? So you got to teach your team what business hours are. Right? What we do with every brand new person is we help them build a daily success schedule. But you gotta help your team build a daily schedule, man. If they work a job, help them build this business around their job. Right? Like literally set them up for success. Right? So that's one thing. And then anybody know what Eric Worre's GoPro audio is?
Yes, sir.
If you do, let's go! Right? If you don't know what it is, that's how you build rhino skin and you understand what this industry is when you actually start getting criticism when you start it. So I'd suggest listening to that audio and building a daily success schedule and hopping on every single business hour leadership call.
And I'm gonna add something real quick. And people, when you first get started, you have to understand that the person, if they do tell you no, the person they're saying no to is not the same person they're gonna be saying yes to in 90 days, 180 days. This business builds you. It builds character. It builds grit. It builds determination. It builds you into the person that you want to become. As you are building your business is building you. So understand, if they say no, it's a no to who you are at that moment in time. Because people follow people. And once you become the man or the woman that you want to become, that you're destined to become the best version of yourself, it's a guaranteed yes, I can promise you. There's been people in my life and all of our lives that said no day one, said yes a year later, said yes 6 years later. Just wait for your time, because your time will come if you are around and if you are present, if you work.
I had one of my biggest skeptics, right? When I joined, it was actually when Joey came up to a player on New Year's Eve. They were playing beer pong, and we were sitting, basically texting people and messaging people and still signing people up. And there's these 2 guys that looked over and he said, "Matt, you coming off the bar with us tonight?" I said, "No, man, I'm working on my future." And they started clowning. And ever since that point, for literally 2 years straight, that one person was like, "How's that thing going, man? How's that scam going? How's that pyramid going?" And 2.5 years into it, though, he finally messaged me and was, "All right, man, I think I need to see you." Went up and golfed with him for 18 holes, went to lunch, to dinner with him, showed him actually what it is. He signed up. He ended up putting 900 people in 9 years.
Come on!
Right? He saw my progress. And even though he was the most skeptical person, once I proved to him that it was real and that it works, when he finally did see it with an open mind and he said yes, guess what all of his network knows about him? That he's a very skeptical person, that he's hard-headed, and that he had an incredible story to be able to say, I've watched Matt for 3 years, and I see that this thing works. And I told him he was stupid. I told him this thing was a pyramid. Guys, this thing is real. We should all do it. And he signed up 11 for 11 the first night. And then 11 people brought over 25 people, and then went 25 for 25. And we went on a run, guys, for 90 days, and like I said, we put over 900 miles. Wow. That's cool.
What the person should be like, right? So if anybody's in this room who's here and like, let's say You spent your last dollar to get here to come see all this. I think that shows that you're somebody who has what it takes. Like, let's establish that. But I want to put it back on you, bro, like as a leader, okay? And I think this is what a lot of people forget in the industry is they just think, oh, well, I showed him the plan. I plugged him in. He knows Akashics has live sessions and we do Zoom calls and we have Super Saturdays, and all of a sudden this person's miraculously supposed to understand how to go out there and become you and what you've done. So when Joey says put that person in your passenger seat, it means that person needs to walk in lockstep with you and understand exactly what you're doing every single day so that they can duplicate the process. How you bring people into the business is how they will bring people into the business. So as a leader, I put it back on you, because if you're not having the game plan meetings with those people to actually give them the blueprint for them to fit in, then they're never going to be successful. If you're not having game plan meetings and blueprint meetings with your newest members, they're never going to know what to do. And the only way you're going to build a successful team is if you could walk into a room and be like, I showed 4, these 4 showed 4,000. That's it. And if you don't have the ability to create that duplication in this industry, all you're going to be doing every single day, all day long, is, like Matt Morris says, trying to get chickens to fly and become eagles when they're not. But in order to create your eagle, you need to give them that blueprint. So whoever you brought here, bro, that made that investment and took that risk to come here, bro, you have a big responsibility to help those people as soon as they leave this. So,
I know I personally experienced
What's good, YouTube? What's good, YouTube? Come on, why y'all talking shit, man? The man preaching game, man. The man talking that money talk. Come on here talking crazy, man. Y'all stay trolling. Come on, man. Don't do the man like that. You feel me? It's all about financial freedom, man. You feel what I'm saying? Getting that from the CEO himself, man. You feel me? IQ is genetic. IQ is genetic. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, man. It all depends. My thoughts is, when smart people talking, you should listen. That's my thought, because we live in the world with a bunch of know-it-alls, and people don't really be knowing shit, man. You feel me? I was always taught you want to hide something from a person, put it in the book. You feel me? So I read daily. Strengthen the knowledge in my brain. You feel me? So it's all about educating yourself, man. Don't rely on other people to educate you. Take the initiative to educate yourself. It all starts with yourself, man. You feel me? So if you ain't shit, you just ain't gonna be shit. It's that simple. Man, it like bright as hell up there, bro. It's bright out here, man. You feel me? Feel good out here too. Word up. Look like P. Diddy. Man, get off my thing, bro. I look like P. Diddy. I ain't no motherfucking P. Diddy. Look like no P. Diddy, man. Chilling, man. Out here in Atlanta. Backyard, chilling. Feel me? I had to come sit down, man. All that standing up shit, man. Shit was hurting my back. I'm out here chilling with my rich friends. What up, man? Y'all with the CEO, man. Today was amazing, man. Day 2 went down epically, man. I just made that word up, by the way. So I'm out here. I'm chilling with my rich friends, man. Yeah, I got rich friends now. Hell yeah. They in there clapping and shit. Absolutely.
To the front from this?
I don't know. Hey, yo. Now I got 10 million bottles of baby oil in my car, yo, man. Y'all funny as hell, man. I ain't got no motherfucking baby oil in my car. Hell no. God bless you too, man. You 15 minutes. 15 minutes from where? Joshua King. Joshua King, who that? 15 minutes from where? Joshua, where you 15 minutes from? Yo, man. What up, man? What up, man? Yo, with the CEO, man. Day was amazing, man. Day 2 went down epic. All right, I'm chilling with my rich friends. Yeah, I'm a rich friend. What up, man? Yo, with the CEO. Day was amazing, man. Day 2 went down epic. I know a little freak. My finger still stinks from last night. You a weirdo. You two, y'all be on some weird shit on here, man. Why y'all jumping on my screen with that weirdness, man? Who wanna get some money on here, man? Whole lot of nothing going on here. Nah, I'm just chilling, man, enjoying the breeze, bro. Just enjoying the breeze, nightlife out in Atlanta, man. You feel me? Pop out. Festivities. MDC, Casa.
Taproot means like when you're building an organization, learning how to take your frontline affiliates that you're working with and drive them in an organization. Contacting who they know, not just the people that are personally brought in. And honestly, a lot of people only work with their frontline. So like most affiliates that I've talked to, especially if they're starting their business, they're only working with their people on their level one. And those are usually the people that you know. Those are your friends, your family, people that you brought in. And you'll find your best people deep down in your organization. So like when I was a distributor and I was building, I thought like the people that I personally brought in were going to be my top people. But on level like 5, 6, and 7, I had people come in that wound up bringing tens of thousands of people in. And a lot of times too, in this industry, people that are close to you, like in level 1 stuff, and if you don't have those relationships deep down in your organization, you might be losing people and you're just not in touch with what's going on. And the reality is like I was honestly, I was a dud. So I thought when I first joined network marketing, I was 18 years old. I had no business being in business, and I almost wound up quitting my first company. I almost left, and thankfully there was somebody in the upline who was captivating, and I was 3, 4, 5 levels down from that person, and I wound up becoming a stud because I had somebody to work with. So you got to kind of look at it that way. In your team, you may have a lot of people that you personally brought in, like how many of those conversations were you having with your level 1? Do you even know who's in your group? Like a lot of people think like, oh, just because I have people level 2, level 3, or they're on some leg, like I shouldn't be working with those people. You should be working with everybody in your team as if they're your level 1. And especially in a comp plan that has dynamic compression, which means, you know, like if you have, let's say you have a big, like I personally know how to use level 1, then I have Dr. China's level 2, Maddie level 3, and so on. And if I'm working with everybody here, and then Ollie quits, he's done. She's now my level 1 in the comp plan. So why would you ever not work with everybody in the team? And like honestly, it's the one thing that network marketers don't do. In your team, like I'm always supposed to work with people closest to me. Because a lot of people think I get paid the most amount of money off my front line, and they never go further than that. But again, you're gonna find the best people in your group deep down in your organization. So Taproot, I mean, there's a lot of skills that you can use for Taprooting, but the thing that I like to do the most is when I was running my organization, and this is kind of old school, but I've been in the industry a long time. I'm 34 now, and I started when I was 18. So my mentor taught me, hey, when I first joined, I had 24 hours to send him a list of 25 names. Okay, so I had to send him my list. And the reason, and I said, well, why am I going to send you my list? He's like, well, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to be working with you. I'm going to teach you how to do a three-way call. And so I sent him my list, and I started doing that with my people. So check this out. I enroll 10 people front line. And I tell them all, hey, you got 24 hours to send me your list of 25. 24 hours to send me your list of 25. If I do that with 10 people, how many people do I have? 250.
That's crazy. They said that to me.
Yeah, they're two different
How many of you have 250 names in your inbox of leads?
So that's your
Most people don't. If you just go to your existing team and get 25 names, which one of you close your event and start working those lists with your team, that's how you capture it. And you're going to be helping your team out with this stuff. If the 10 people that I brought in, I got their list, 150, and they all quit, I still got their list. I can still work your list. And the best leads you'll ever have in your business are cold market leads. People that were referred by their people. So I can call everybody on that list, funnel them into business, and then I can call you guys and go, hey, remember you sent me that list of 25 names.
everybody in your team start to tap you and get their lists. Yeah, like deep down, you'll find, I promise you, you'll find your top income earners deep down in your organization. It's never level one. Yeah, that's how it works.
So everyone needs to go taproot to a team of 1,000, and as you're taprooting, each person is going down the line, you're sending a message all the way up the line saying congrats on the growth of your business. Every day, there's another one down. If I sign up Josh, I'm getting started, who's the person that knows who us, trusts the most, and still show them right away. We show them, we put in business, and we're sending congrats messages. That's how it works every time. So I put him in, and now his next guy gets in, congrats, congrats.
No, everybody above me on your line.
Yeah, and that's all we ever did. We just drove up and said congrats. So either I'm gonna find a personal and I'm gonna put down on that new person, or I'm gonna help Josh go get a new person to go under. But every day, I just needed one going down there and I could send congrats. I had a text message with over 150 people and they all got it. Even if they quit, they're getting that message. Because like Josh said, I'm gonna get them back in the business anyways. Let's reactivate your account. Again, we're entrepreneurs. You have to strategize here. How can we go to the next level? It's always about finding strategies like that.
And I'll tell you,
I will say this too, like this is one of the first things that I also, so I learned about taprooting, but I also learned that like to be honest with you guys, like to be successful in this business, it does take a very specific mindset to be successful. And when I first got in, I watched a lot of people around me in that company quit, especially early in the business. And so to make network marketing work, you have to be willing to commit a certain amount of time to a business. And the average network marketer, you can look the statistic up, average network marketer succeeds in a company in 3 to 5 years. What's crazy about that is, think about this, you work a job for 40 years, to retire off of 40% of your income, working 40 hours a week. That's the 40-40-40 plan. Network marketing is 3 to 5 years where you could potentially make tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars in residual income, and it only takes you maybe 3 to 5 years to build that. But people won't give it 3 to 5 years, they expect to make it in 90 days. And if they don't hit it in 90 days, they quit. So you gotta have that mentality in the business. Like if you give this a solid 3 to 5 years, you put your blinders on, you're not gonna worry about what people say on social media. You're not gonna worry about every time you get pitched on another company. Like you're gonna get pitched on, like, you know how many companies and products and deals I've been pitched on, like over the last 15 years in this industry? Like you have to be willing to just be focused, laser focused, and build this for 3 to 5 years. And a lot of times the way that this business works, especially if you're coming from working a job, like when you work a job, you're trading your time for money. So you put 40 hours and you get paid for those 40 hours. Network marketing doesn't pay you for time. It doesn't matter how much time you put into the business, the only thing that matters is your production in the business. It's your results, it's your volume in your business. So a lot of people could be putting a lot of time into the business, but if they're not getting the results, they think network marketing doesn't work, but they're spending their time on the wrong things, spending their time on the wrong activities. So we want to put in 3 to 5 years, but we want to spend our time on money-making or income-producing activities. There's only one door to the money in this industry, and it's the number of new people you're introducing to your business products every single day. If that's what you focus all your energy on, it's almost like impossible to not be successful in the business. Think about it. If you have if I have a smaller team than Ali, he could have 1,000 people, but I have 100 people, and my team's focused on how many people we can prospect every day, and his team's focused on posting on social media or some other shit, like I'm gonna win. My people are prospecting more, we're inviting more, we're doing more events, we're talking to more people. It doesn't matter how many people he has. So it works like this. In network marketing, it's like you work, and maybe you put a lot of work in, and you got like a little check, and it may not be super rewarding.
But then it's like work, check, check, you know, work, check, check, work, check, 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 check,
Right, but a lot of people want those checks, but they're not willing to put the time in, they're not willing to prospect, they're not willing to invite new people, and so if you should focus on that, put your blinders on, you're crushing it.
Chris Robinson, my brother, come up here. He's obviously been here since the very beginning. He was the first affiliate here. But I am working on a Fuel Factor X deal right now, and I got Chris on a call. And this guy literally drove, 26 hours. He went and bought a horse, drove all the way back from Texas to Idaho, walked into his ranch, and literally walked through the door, gets on the Zoom, and I've never heard fuel treatment sounds so goddamn good. I buy some FFX and I realized I have an EV. So guys, this is if you can do something, bro, and just give everybody in this room one solid piece of advice that they can take and just run with, bro, so everybody can just go out there and crush their goals. And again, bro, thank you for being here.
Yes,
we weren't even in the same organization, so we were kind of like competitors. But between the two of us, we had like over 80,000 people. Between his team and my team. Let's go.
Let's go. Our upline. We have one problem. Always right. If you put down a coffee, you won't drink it. Don't do that stuff. Look, I mean, I've been 17 years in this industry, been in the top 1% for a decade straight as far as income goes. I'll give you actually two pieces of advice. The first piece of advice I'll give you is it's not even a skill set, it's a characteristic. You gotta have loyalty in your character. I was raised old school by the last of the dying breed, the real American capitalists. And from the day I was born, if you start a job, you finish the damn thing. And if you tell a man you're gonna do something, you do it. Come hell or high water, you make sure the job you start gets finished, and it gets finished with the best of your ability to finish it, or you don't stop. The only way you fail, my daily choice, whatever you're here for, it's a cost shits, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's only one way to fail. You know what that is? That's the fact. You want to know why I stand up here? And actually, everybody in this room is an organization. Do you know that? Everybody in the company is an organization. But the only reason I'm still here is that I quit. How much shit we've been? He should have quit 1,000 times. You guys will never see this stuff. I should have quit probably 3,000. But it's not happening. I promise you. If I got breath in my body, I'm 100% my daily choice. You have to have loyalty. In the Old West, if you guys ever watch, how many watch Yellowstone? Yeah. Well, that little burn that they put on their chest, or on the cow, or on the horse is called a brand. You guys do a completely different kind of branding than we do in my ranch. But a brand means you ride for that brand. You ride for that company. And as long as you have that brand, you don't look, you don't go, you don't get distracted by anything else. You don't look over the neighbor's fence. If they're green grass, you figure out how to water yours. And if you can really get that in your DNA, then you have no other way to build it up in my daily choice. The other thing I will warn a lot of you on that is going to destroy your business, especially as you build a bigger, massive business, is 3 letters, EGO. I would stood back in that room all night and not said a word. It wouldn't have bothered me at all because I know the studs, Ollie, man, look at this, look at all the talent right here. You don't need to hear. And when you can sit in the back of a room and cash checks, that's when you want. You don't need to be the guy on stage, or gal on stage. You don't need to be the person who's in the room. You have to do that for a while. But the best thing you can do is replace yourself. And ego stands for one thing: edging God out. Because as soon as you have ego, as soon as you have, this is the Chris show or the Josh show, he has zero ego. If you did, we could probably arm wrestle up back. But the point is, you have to be more, and I said this one today. Okay, well, here we go. We are not in the trading business. We're not in the CBD business, the mind food business. You're in one business, and that's the people business. I don't care if you sell damn cars. You can sell cars. No, you sell cars out. You can't sell cars out. You can't sign somebody up in a caution without money. And as soon as you care about people like you should, more than yourself, not only your parents, but even your children. Treat your downline with the same love you have for your children. Treat your team the same way. This is a perfect example. You guys probably spent a fortune on this place to get your team here, to get. I mean, look at this. Look how tight everybody is. This is kind of bang. Look quick, doesn't it? Right together. This is exactly how we do it. And the last thing I'll say is I don't care who in this room, even if they're sitting on this room right here, and they quit this company. We call Chris motherfucker Robinson. I'll answer your phone calls forever. Let's go!
What's your number? Let me get that number. Get your food in the morning. Pick up. Need.
Listen, the only way you can motivate your team by inspiring them with your feet. Your actions. You know, if I ran into Josh today, and I'm building with them, and they're like, okay, but then they want you to go build a new team. They're like, oh man, they're running. When they see us go build a new team, the new leaders, they're like, okay, we need to go build a new team with new leaders. And it just fuels everyone. When I freaking told them I was running with new legs, it just fuels the shit to go find new leaders and run. I'm like, I'm not getting left behind. He's going again. He's going to the next level again. I will not be left behind, and you guys won't be left behind either. If you just lead from the front and go build new teams, and your team will watch your feet, and they'll just follow your lead that way. You got to inspire them with your actions, and then that's how it's going to go.
They went up the steps.
Right? I knew in order to shift my organization to what we had, I needed to identify the vision. What am I getting to buy into if the vision is physical, right? So it was important to me in the beginning to identify the vision. And I asked whether in the room, because if I said, what are we doing in the next 36 months, then they know that we're creating 100 million. Now remember, my vision has to be big enough so that other people's vision will fit on the inside of it. If I only focus on what I can do in my own ability, where's the faith in that? If I only focus on what I can do in my own ability, then that's a selfish goal. It's too small. So the biggest problem that I see is people's goals aren't big enough. So I ask these people when they approach me, I say, well, what's your goal? And they always talk about what they can do in their own ability. And say, well, I'm aspiring the next 90 days, doing the next 90 days. I said, well, the problem is the people that you're going to attract to get that goal are probably just going to be hustlers. The people who you really want to attract in your business, they can't fit it because your goal is too small. They want to make the same amount of money you want. So you got to stretch the vision, and knows what we're going toward. So that means now that I know what the vision is, what are the characteristics of the individuals that are going to be able to carry that? So I do a reverse engineering process, right? So let's just say your goal is to become ambassador in a certain amount of time, right? Lead ambassador in a certain amount of time. Then you know you need to be attracting blue diamonds, black diamonds, and diamonds. So what's the characteristics of a diamond? So now you're treating your business like a business, going through an interview process, identifying the proper questions to ask people so you can move the process along a lot quicker. So if you want them to tie into your vision, then identify the vision. Make sure it's a part of what's ingrained in our culture. We know it's so either they commit, you're going to be one or 100 or not. So when they start to do behavior that doesn't operate like a millionaire, I call them only because I ask, do I have your permission to lead you? Because if I don't have your permission to lead you and there's no accountability, then I know you just kind of like the culture and hanging around. And that's fine. You got great customer service, but you're disqualified from this because we're not tolerant. We create boundaries because the mission has to get done. And I know that God will live the bottom line as well.
Come on now.
I'll make it quick, but I want to attribute this response to Maddie, because I learned this from a training that we did for our entire team in Minnesota. And, Dr. China talked a lot about the characteristics of an before, right? And the characteristics of an ace are, of the desire to win, pushable, teachable, toughness, right? Influence, competitiveness. And now, two things. You want to look for those kinds of people and be able to identify that through questions, right? Through connecting with that individual. But now, all of you guys, those 5 characteristics, how many do you have? Right? How many do you have? And then you think about what characteristics you need to build, because you can build them, right? And then start doing things you need to do to build them.
Come on.
That's just the reality of it. So one of the things that I did have to do more recently, a guy got on our call, we did a ton of years back, and we went on right? And so he's like, what the heck is going on here? Like, he's like, oh, I'm just here to make some money.
Somebody said Emperor is too bright, bro. The demons can't take it.
So I tweaked the brand a little bit so nobody's confused now. You can expect it. Now, does everybody that joined our call on the same page? Absolutely not. And it's not really about that, but now they understand that they could expect that to happen on the call. So sometimes you do, especially when you start to build a large organization, be very clear so you if nobody is excluded, let's be very clear, very multi-dimensional and international, but at least nobody's confused about it. But as a person and who I am, I don't have to tell you what my belief is. You'll probably figure it out just because it is. It's not like just something that I feel like I have to figure out how to know. I don't know if that helps because it's easy for me, but like scripture aligns with it. Like I need that to get to the kind of money that I want. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like I need to figure that out because that goal hasn't got achieved yet for me, and I need that $1 million in money, and I need faith for that. And I also need bigger than just my skills. Remember, I told you, some of the work that we're doing is not because we're the best in the world at doing it, but our belief is a lot bigger than most people's belief.
One thing I'll say too, and I know Joey wants to say something, I'm not a Christian, but every single day, you just have to pray into your business. Like even if it's not something that you want to be front facing with, you have to just pray into your business every day. You have to pour into your business. Something that we do every single day. Me and my wife, we wake up every day. I go to the bank and I take out $300 and I leave it in the drawer. And every single day, me and my wife wake up and take $1. It's called sadaqah, it means donation. And every single day I put $1 in the jar, which can go to charity. It's not about the dollar in the jar, it's about the intention of waking up every single morning and doing something for a purpose that has nothing to do with your own benefit. and you pray over your business, bro, and then you go about your business. And then if you attract people into your business who share the same faith as you, and you want to focus on, doing things specifically around your faith and what you believe in with your Savior, then you do that. You go all in with it, and you create a space for everyone, just like Dr. China just talked about right now. For anybody who's a believer, regardless of what faith they believe in, they're going to appreciate the fact that they're around people who are believers. And even non-believers are not going to care, you know what I mean? So you just have to focus on how you can leverage your faith to inspire you to build your business. It's not even about the perception of what other people are going to think. See, I used to post a lot about my faith, and I realized that, because I'm in my business personally, because I'm not a perfect Muslim. There's many things that I do that are outside of my faith and that are considered sins. So I don't want to be hypocritical. That's me. Get me? It's your faith, it's your journey. You gotta run your race with what calls to you is
Sometimes it wasn't enough time. Like a real transformation sometimes requires a lot more time for that setting. It is not easy for people to do that. How many? Can anybody else relate to them? Like you were almost there. Yeah. Right. Now, how many people were able to relate to maybe go grief enough? Sometimes it depends on what you're dealing with in that moment. That's very recent. It's close that you can grasp it, and sometimes it's nothing left. So usually something like that takes a lot more time. We had a solid 12. And that was like 3, just on that part alone. It wasn't easy.
Do you have that thing where like you try to mess with your brain and you just can't picture stuff? Like I saw on TikTok, like there's a 1%
Wesley, the first thing you need to do is give yourself permission to win and understand that you deserve what everybody's talking about. If you can't see it, it's because you're stopping yourself from feeling like you deserve it. Success is a birthright. So the day you're born, success is a birthright. So you need to understand first and foremost that you deserve to be sitting here. You deserve to be on that stage, giving the talks, giving the speeches, and doing whatever it is you want to do. And until you allow yourself to win, you can't. You just can't. And for all of you that raised your hand and said they couldn't go there, I would give you that same advice. Give yourself permission to win. Know you deserve it. No success is a God-given birthright, and we're all going to go achieve that.
That's the type of experience, even from stage, that was just a little bit like, if he would have said that to you on stage, just imagine, before the process happened, it would have helped so many other people who locked themselves out of not feeling worthy enough for what's already available to them. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there probably helped somebody else to just open themselves up in this moment.
I'll actually tell you what I did for me. I was 16 years old. I got in a fight with a math teacher. I won. Dropped out of high school, 15 years old. And they made me go through the counselor, this educated guy that's going to comprehend and fixing my life. And he said, Chris, you got to go to alternative school. You got to continue education, or you'll never be successful in getting a job. And I looked him right in the face, the 15-year-old kid. I said, who the hell told you I want to teach you? And that's when it clicked in my mind. I'm not an entrepreneur. I deserve to be successful. I'm not working for any son of a bitch the rest of my life.
And then we're going to do a quick transition, okay? So what was the right?
Yeah. I was in the same position when I was in network marketing. Yeah. I had totally different backgrounds, so they were telling me, close your eyes, and I was a lot of nights on TV hours and stuff. And they were like, close your eyes and do this, and I'm like, I don't see shit. Am I blind? So it was because I've never done that before. Like I wasn't coming from a culture that they would make us close our eyes. That was not, I was raised in another country. I worked sometimes it just takes practice. Like sometimes maybe there's visualization, visualization exercises, if you have never done it before, it might take trying a few days. Sometimes it's just waking up in the morning, closing your eyes, and planning your day in your head. And then you will start slowly. And for some other people, they will get more clarity if they just do the same thing over and over. Because sometimes you see blurry images, they say, imagine a dream home, and you see the white house, but you don't know any details. So they're like, open the door, and you're like, where the fuck is the door? Like you get lost on kind of path. So I think if you practice it, you get to a point where you are like very, very clear and really make it what you want to do. And that's when it
Do any of you have a vision board?
Yes. So like when I got started in network marketing, it sounded crazy to me, but I was told to build a vision board for what I wanted my life to look like and what I wanted to achieve in business. So I like cut out pictures. I wanted to travel. I cut out pictures of like a new house. I cut out pictures of what I wanted my bank account to look like. Lots of zeros, and I put all that on a vision board and I looked at it every day because it is hard to visualize something that may seem crazy to you. But if you have it on a board and you have your goals written down, for me, it's a lot easier to look at that. And manifesting starts when you write something down and you put it out there. And if you're having trouble thinking about it every day, like put it on your wall, write it down in your notebook. And like that should be like your first thing you look at in the morning. And you do your like daily affirmations. All that really helps with like manifesting and creating instead of just sitting there thinking about it.
And as you start to achieve your vision board, you take something off, you got that car, you got whatever, don't leave it blank. Replace it. All he was just saying, I drove 26 hours from the horse sale. This was Tuesday night. I went to a horse sale and was trying to win any you guys. But that's my life. That's what drives me. I bought a horse for $300,000. Hold on. When they do the sale, one that's for $300,000. Hold on. Not to get sidetracked. They do sales and they do lot numbers. They call them a hip number. When a horse comes through the arena, there's a number on their hip. If it's one, it's the first one to sell, it's one. If it's the 100th one, it's the 100. I bought lot 68 there. I sat down in there, and lot number one went for $5.7 million. His name is Third Edge. That son of a bitch is on my vision board. I